Right now, there are people making $400,000 a year who are completely broke, and there are people making $50,000 who are building generational wealth. The difference has almost nothing to do with income and everything to do with which of these 7 psychological levels your brain is operating at. And before you assume you're near the top, wait until you hear level 4. Most people who think they're winning are actually just treading water really well. Let me explain. Level 1. Financial chaos. You don't check your bank account, you discover it. Usually when something gets declined. No impulse control, no planning, just pure financial destruction happening in real time. These are the people who buy a new car when their rent is 3 months late, who finance a jet ski at 29% interest, who get a $4,000 tax refund and somehow turn it into debt by Monday morning. According to a 2019 study from the Financial Health Network, about 17% of Americans are here, in complete financial dysfunction. Their lights get shut off before they pay the bill. Their account stays overdrawn. And the wildest part? They genuinely don't see the connection between their choices and their outcomes. This isn't about being poor. Plenty of broke people manage money well. This is about actively choosing financial self-destruction every single day and then wondering why life feels impossible. Level 2. Financial avoidance. These people aren't being reckless, they're terrified. Opening a bank notification gives them a physical anxiety response. They ignore bills until collections calls start. They've never once logged into their 401k, not because they're lazy, but because looking at it feels like standing at the edge of a cliff. Level 2. Financial avoidance. These people aren't being reckless, they're terrified. Opening a bank notification gives them a physical anxiety response. They ignore bills until collections calls start. They've never once logged into their 401k, not because they're lazy, but because looking at it feels like standing at the edge of a cliff. A 2018 study in the Journal of Financial Therapy found that financial avoidance affects nearly 23% of adults. And here's what makes it so insidious. These people are often not even in bad financial shape. You'll find someone earning $65,000 with $15,000 in savings having a full panic attack because they spent $40 at Target. The fear is completely disconnected from reality. The problem is that avoidance always costs you. That bill you ignored for 3 months is now in collections. That investment account you never looked at, fees just ate a chunk of it. Ignorance isn't bliss, it's just expensive. Level 3. Paycheck to paycheck. This is where most people live, about 63% of Americans according to a 2023 report. And I want to be clear about something that most financial advice completely gets wrong about this level. Stay with me here because this one matters. You're not avoiding money. You're not being reckless. You're just stuck in math that doesn't work. Every dollar in immediately goes out. Rent, car payment, groceries, insurance, phone. Maybe $200 left over. And that $200 has to cover literally everything until next payday. One flat tire, one root canal, one unexpected expense, and you're choosing between the electric bill and eating this week. Here's what enrages me. Every piece of advice aimed at level 3 sounds like just stop buying coffee, as if the problem is discipline and not that wages haven't kept pace with inflation for 40 years. Researchers at MIT found that financial stress at this level literally reduces cognitive function. Your brain is running on fumes. And then people wonder why you bought the $8 sandwich instead of meal prepping. It's because you're exhausted, and making good decisions from a depleted brain is almost impossible. Level 3 isn't a character flaw. It's a math problem with a very real cognitive cost. But here's the thing nobody tells you about level 4. It still feels like losing. Because you're always one car accident, one layoff, one bad medical bill away from sliding right back to level 3. The emergency fund buys time, not freedom. And you know the difference. You're winning by every measurable standard, but it doesn't feel like winning. It feels like treading water really, really well. And for a lot of people, this is as far as the math ever lets them go. Not because they're doing anything wrong, but because there's only so much you can cut from a fixed income. But here's the thing nobody tells you about level 4. It still feels like losing. Because you're always one car accident, one layoff, one bad medical bill away from sliding right back to level 3. The emergency fund buys time, not freedom, and you know the difference. You're winning by every measurable standard, but it doesn't feel like winning. It feels like treading water really, really well. And for a lot of people, this is as far as the math ever lets them go. Not because they're doing anything wrong, but because there's only so much you can cut from a fixed income. Level 5. Comfortable. This is where the psychological experience of money changes completely. 6 months of expenses saved, 401k maxed out. A $5,000 emergency happens and it's annoying, not devastating. About 15% of Americans are here, and the shift in your nervous system is enormous. You stop doing mental math before every purchase. You go to dinner without calculating. You buy the name brand occasionally and feel zero guilt. Researchers at Princeton found that the emotional benefit of money essentially plateaus around $75,000, adjusted for today, roughly $105,000. And that aligns perfectly with level 5. This is the point where money stops being a daily source of dread. You're not rich, you're not retiring early, you're just not scared anymore. And if you grew up in level 3, that feeling is almost disorienting, because now you're waiting for it to disappear. Guilt shows up here. Guilt about spending on yourself, guilt about having more than your parents did, guilt about not being able to save everyone who asks. Level 5 is genuinely good, but it carries its own psychological weight. Level 6. Wealthy. Different game entirely. You have assets, plural. Real estate, investments, business equity. Your money makes money while you sleep. You're not trading time for dollars anymore. Only about 5% of people get here, and the psychology gets strange, because wealth isn't about income. You can meet someone earning $400,000 a year who's broke because they spend $450,000. And you can meet someone who made $80,000 their whole career and built wealth because they invested every month for 30 years. Level 6 stops thinking in monthly budgets. They think in asset allocation, cash flow, tax strategy. They have accountants, financial advisors, estate plans. But here's the thing nobody tells you about level 6. The anxiety doesn't go away. It just changes. Now you're terrified of losing it, of making the wrong investment, of your kids becoming entitled, of people only wanting access to your resources. Studies on sudden wealth, lottery winners, inheritance recipients consistently show that money doesn't resolve your psychological problems. It just funds different ones. Level 6 has the resources to do almost anything and is often paralyzed by the fear of doing the wrong thing. These are problems level 3 would love to have, but they're still real. Level 7. Generational wealth. Less than 1% of people reach this. Trust, estates, assets designed to outlive you by generations. Your great-grandchildren will be financially secure because of decisions you made today. And the psychology here is almost alien to everyone else. These are people who've never felt the fear that drives every other level. They can't even conceptualize what level 3 feels like, the physical anxiety of choosing between bills, the cognitive fog of constant financial stress. They make decisions based on legacy, not survival. They think in generations, not years. Research from wealth psychology experts shows that people at this level often feel deeply isolated. They can't relate to normal financial stress, and no one around them can relate to their problems. You'll hear someone sitting on $50 million say, "I just want my kids to have a work ethic." And they're genuinely worried because they've watched money destroy people who didn't earn it. And here's the part that never gets said out loud. Most people at level 7 didn't get here through discipline or brilliance. They inherited it, which means they're managing something they never learned to build. That's its own kind of psychological burden. Stewardship, without origin. So here's the thing. Every serious study on money and happiness actually tells us the goal is not level 7, the goal is level 5. Not because ambition is wrong, but because level 5 is the point where money stops being a weapon your brain uses against you. Everything above it is just a different category of problems. More resources, same psychological machinery. The levels above 5 will give you more, but they won't give you peace. That happens at 5. And most people spend their entire lives fighting toward level 6 and 7 without ever stopping at the one level that actually changes how you feel. Which level are you at right now? And which level are you actually building toward, not just dreaming about?